And we're back for another edition of Money Makes It Weird. So glad to have you here. My name is Matt Haze. I am co-hosting with this gentleman right here,
Chris
Chris
Fox.
Chris Fox from Fox Financial with
Still my
IPC.
last name.
Yeah, he remembers it sometimes. Depends
Yeah.
on the situation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we're
I
glad.
didn't take my wife's name.
Which is a thing sometimes. That is a thing now in today's modern day and
Right?
age. So
Yeah,
yeah.
where people are blending their names together, sometimes making their own names.
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever works for you, whatever makes
yeah.
you happy. So, but we're glad to have you here. Thanks for coming along. Where we're talking about personal finance and how money just kind of makes it weird sometimes in situations and in life. And we're here to kind of dissect the stories of the internet and the personal finance world that we find on Reddit and all those weird spots of the internet. And Chris, who is a professional financial planner with IPC and Fox Financial, is here to share his wisdom and his insight and kind of dig into some of the stories. And this week we're digging into about kind of lump sums that people fall into, whether you are kind of younger and you kind of get a windfall from a family member passing away or something like that, or someone that might have a windfall just kind of sitting in the bank and not sure what to do with that. So what does someone do with that, and how does that situation kind of work out? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get
Fun.
into that, Chris, it was Thanksgiving last week, and
Mhm.
you kept sending me photos of just absolutely gorgeous views of where you were. Tell me a little bit about where you were and what was going
Yeah,
on.
my family and I were in Canmore, Alberta. We had a few days there. It was beautiful. Got some snow on Saturday. Welcome to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We just had some great family time.
That's great. Did you do some family time doing outdoorsy stuff too? Take advantage of the snow?
No. No,
Oh,
we weren't really prepared for the snow, Matt, but
oh.
thought it could happen. We just wandered around town, wore our toques,
Mhm.
and did a little shopping.
So, what is in the Fox family? What is the preferred food of choice for
Oh,
Thanksgiving?
oh. Well, if we're lucky enough to be with the rest of our family, it's the whole spiel, turkey and
Mhm.
mashed potatoes. Kelly loves stuffing like you wouldn't believe.
Mhm.
All the traditional stuff, yams or sweet potato and mashed potatoes, and maybe there'll be pierogies if we're lucky. We love our pierogies.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's not
Lazy
something.
cabbage rolls.
Pierogies are not something I normally hear. As someone from an Eastern European descendant family,
There
is
is that kind
not something I
of,
normally hear.
on my mom's side, there's that family background that's kind of straddles the border between Ukraine and Poland,
I love
actually.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, yeah, we like our cabbage rolls with mushrooms in my family. Yeah.
That's
Not tomatoes,
a
mushrooms.
little something different, but definitely sounds yummy. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's great. And like I said, the photos definitely looked beautiful and looked nice. So, and that's sad that you couldn't take advantage of the snow. I mean, albeit you're going to have 8 months to be able to enjoy it here starting next
Mm-hmm.
week. So, but
This
uh,
won't be around for much longer.
yeah, as he's for those of you listening on the audio, he was pointing to the sunshine. So, which by the way, you can just imagine, in your head and just kind of keep that picture in your head because you're gonna need that, here starting in about a week or two to kind of have that mental image for the next eight
Yes,
months. So,
exactly.
all right, so let's kind of start digging into our stories for this week as we dig into the craziness of Reddit. So every other week we dig into the personal finance parts of Reddit, where people are sharing their stories, asking for advice, asking the strangers of the internet what to do. And this week we're digging into people that find whether windfalls or have family members with sums of money, and what do you just do with it, which are real situations that happen in life, and how money kind of just makes it weird because Chris, is not every single day where, just a pot of money falls into people's pockets where,
Mm-hmm.
the rain, where the magical rainbow just kind of just lands in their lap, there it is. And, here's 100, here's the six-figure lump sum, So, before we get into these, these two stories that we have, what type of situations do you see where people get these lump sums,
Mm-hmm.
that when people find lump sums just kind of happen in their lives in these
Yeah.
situations? What type of moments do you see, in your
Yeah,
office?
mostly inheritance.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Retiring, sometimes people will take their pensions with them, retiring allowances, so what to do with that lump sum. Divorce can be part of that.
Mm.
Selling a company, more fun. Yeah, so quite a few situations. On a
So these ones we're talking about, the two situations we're talking about today. First one, we're going to talk about on the younger side, someone named Venus Moonbeam. I love that name. That's actually kind of
Venus.
Moonbeam. I love the people and the names they come up with that Reddit. This is from a couple days ago. The title says, "Just received a sizable amount from my mom's estate. Should I use some of it to pay off my credit card debt?
Yes.
I just received quite." Well, there's the answer. There
Full
we go.
stop.
That's it.
Pay
Full
off the credit
stop.
card debt.
That's fine. That's it. That's the end of the
Next.
podcast. That's it. I just received quite a bit of money that I want to invest most of. I have about $4,000 in credit card debt and no savings aside from my IRA, which I do not touch. Should I pay off the debt and take out 3 months of expenses for an emergency fund and invest the rest? I feel bad taking any of it from my life as it is right now, to be honest. A couple of the comments real quick before I want to dig into you. Definitely pay off the credit card debt first, and at least 3 to 6 month emergency fund is a good idea as well.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about taking it. She wanted you to have it. Yes, absolutely. Going through the line, people giving their own suggestions about where to put their money. We're not going to give into those suggestions. That's not our place to do. And people have their own opinions of how to be able to invest in the,
Mhm.
how you all can do whatever you want to do in your own suggestions. But this seems to be very similar in that way. Chris, if someone came to you, with this type of with this question, what would you say to them?
Yeah. $4,000 of credit card debt, thankfully, isn't a lot.
Yeah.
Um, does Venus say how much money he or she
No, did not
had?
say how much that they received. No, that
Right.
that was
So
something that was
a
missing for
large
sure.
amount is different for everybody,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Was it $10,000? Was it 100? Was
Yeah.
it half a million? Right? Like,
Yeah.
how old is Venus? Does Venus want to buy a house?
Yeah.
Does Venus have a house? Um, grandma, it was from her mom or
Fr
him or
from
her?
mom. From
From
mom.
mom.
Yeah.
So Venus is maybe 50, could be 60,
Yeah.
right? Could be 40. Lots of variables there.
Yeah.
For sure, paying off the credit card makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like it's high interest debt nobody wants. And maybe Venus has had that for months. Maybe he or she has had that for years.
Mhm.
Is there a spending problem? Who knows? But so lots of questions there, but definitely pay off the debt.
Yeah.
And then the IRA, that's the equivalent, I think, of an RRSP here in Canada.
Yep.
Great that they don't want to draw from there because I imagine it's taxable income,
Yep.
right? Same there. Yeah. So saving for longer term or medium term makes sense. It's hard to know without all the background,
Yeah.
right? And does Venus have a family?
Yeah.
What are their short-term goals or medium goals or long-term goals?
Yeah.
Have they always wanted to open up a popcorn stand or maybe an ice cream truck?
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what Venus wants to do with their life?
So when someone comes to you in your office with a situation like this, and they say, "Hey, I, received, 50,000, 100,000, two hundred
Mhm.
fifty thousand dollars from, a family member that passed away."
Yeah.
What are like the top questions that you would ask them in that type of situation? They're like, "Chris, I have this money. I'm not sure
Yep.
what to do with it." What do you ask them?
For existing clients, we usually know what's going on, right?
Mhm.
Like we know the background. We know what the family dynamics are. We know the short-term, medium, long-term goals. So if it's an easy scenario, we would just plunk that right into the plan. Oh, okay, we wanted to save for this, check. We wanted to do this, check. If not, then we're kind of having those discussions, right? Like what, do we have enough saved for retirement? Do we accelerate retirement? Do they want to keep working? Depending on what they do they like, their employment? Are they self-employed? Most self-employed people love what they do,
Mhm.
right? And they're entrepreneurial. Lots of my clients are. So they don't necessarily want to stop, right? But maybe they dial it back a little bit. Lots of direction. Do they have kids? They want to, save for that education, help them with the down payment for the house. Like everyone's different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different for sure.
Yeah, a lot of
What would
questions
you
that
do, Matt?
Oh, what would I do with that? I would go on a I would take it and spend it very unwisely and very irresponsibly. That is
Uh,
exactly what I would do.
Vegas. You go to Vegas. That's
Uh
irresponsible,
that's
perhaps.
absolutely what I would do. And I would go Red 21. I think I think that's what you say. I don't know. I don't ever gamble, so I would think
Yeah.
that's what you do. I'll go on Red 21 and go see what happens that way. I did think about that for a while before my grandparents passed away because, I knew that was going to be coming up, and I knew there would be, some money coming in from that, just
Mhm.
from conversations with family, and both of my grandmothers passed away within about a 5 year window.
Hmm.
So there was a little bit that came in that situation. So it was kind of all right, what do I do in this moment like that?
Mhm.
And both of it were, I was able to take advantage and invest in situations for whether it was for the business or personal for what was
Mhm.
going on in that moment that way. So, each was a little different in that moment. I luckily had a little bit of time with that,
Yeah.
which made it really interesting.
That's
I'm
a
gonna.
good point, though. You don't wanna rush into spending it, right?
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like a lottery, like, you hear all the stories,
Yeah.
"I won $1,000,000," and then 4 months later, it's gone,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Also,
Same idea, put the brakes on.
Also, too, something we talked about in the episode last week too about communication. You have this lump sum coming in, so you're probably going to have some questions and know that hey, this is going to come in. How is this going to potentially change or affect my financial plan? It might be something you want to have a conversation or at least have a rough idea
Mhm.
about, as part of something that's going to happen down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. D I encourage my clients not to plan for it, though,
Ah,
right?
yeah,
Unless it's, an obscene amount of money,
yeah,
and the time horizon is short.
hmm,
Um, Generally, I would caution, pre-spending that money
true,
before it's in your hands, because you
right,
never know what was in the will. Mom changed the will.
yeah,
It's all given to the YMCA,
right,
right? Like, who knows?
yeah.
So, yeah, not that I've had that experience, but
I
you
I
just
I kinda did have that experience actually,
really.
not that I didn't spend it, but, we found out, and I guess my mom knew this when my grandmother on my dad's side passed away. It was written my father passed away, about 7, 8 years ago, and it was written in my grandmother's will that if my father passes away before my grandmother does, my father's portion was not to be given to my mother, but was to be
Oh,
then split evenly between my brother and I. I had my
oh,
younger brother. It wasn't supposed to be then given to my mom and then like split three ways. My mother
mhm,
was actually kind of written out of that,
oh,
which was like, oh, which I did not know
hmm.
until after my grandmother passed away. So, in
No
my head,
tension caused there.
actually, it was completely okay because
Oh, right on.
there was enough drama that happened throughout the years that we kinda knew, and my mother was completely okay with it. So
Gotcha.
it actually was not a drama moment situation at all, but it was one of those I had no idea that was written in there. I wasn't surprised when I was told that, and my mom was completely okay with it, but then the number ended up being definitely a bit more than what I was expecting at that time. So,
Yeah, yeah,
again, money makes it weird. You just never know. And slightly
right?
awkward of a situation and a conversation, but still worked out okay. So,
Mhm.
all right. So let's move on to our next story from Vrile Mongoose. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. The title for
The
this one
mongoose.
My 80-year-old mother has $200,000 in the bank. What should she do with it? Now, that's a good problem to have.
Hmm.
Between a part-time job, Social Security, survivor benefits, pension, rental income, she grosses $144,000 per year.
Nice.
Again, this story is a little US based and can be adjusted for,
So like
Canada and all that, but
500,000 Canadian.
yeah. Her expenses are pretty low. $2,200 per month for a mortgage is her biggest outlay, 6.3% standard utilities, has good health care. She has money that's doing well with retirement. She doesn't seem like she needs the money in the bank account. Is it okay to have this sitting in cash? I thought about using as a mix in different types of treasury, CD, or annuity, or should I just have it
Mhm.
in like a interest earning
Like a
checking
high
account.
interest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, she does seems to be doing pretty well with her rental income. It sounds like, this is the mom is doing pretty well and has a nice, has the rental income coming in is doing pretty well.
Hmm.
And I think this kind of goes back to what we talked about before with, having a couple months of, you know, still having a little bit available and liquid for emergencies and all that, what that number is and all. Having still a lump sum available, or still having something available, but also if you have these type of lump sums, is it still better to, do something with it, have it in a better place, or to
Hmm.
just, kind of fully invest it? So in a situation like this, each plan and situation is going to be different. you know, what would you say to someone like this?
Yeah. It's mom's money.
Yeah.
First and foremost, right? And
Yep.
and some people are comfortable having 2 grand in their bank account, like in their current account, and maybe five in their savings. So like,
Hmm.
oh, if I need some cash, I got five sitting right there. Some people are only comfortable if they've got 50 or 60. And maybe mom is only comfortable if she's got 100 or 2,
Yeah.
right? It's everyone treats it a bit differently, and maybe she has designs for that money, right? That she
Yeah.
doesn't want to talk about with her kid. And maybe she's keeping it out of the market mm, to make her estate easier to manage,
Mm.
right? Like when in contemplation, if clients, their time horizon, their expected life expectancy is shortened drastically.
Mhm.
It's not bad to have that liquid cash on hand. It makes, dividing up the estate easier and all that kind of stuff. So there's of course more questions I have than answers, um but maybe mom is going to give this to the kids.
Mm.
And is there more than one kid?
Yeah.
Right? So if it's one kid, and depending on the communication, you could probably say, Mom, I know this money is for me. We could invest this longer term. I know you may not live more than 10, 15 years, but I'm going to live, 30 or 40 or 50, depending on how old the mongoose is.
Yeah.
Right. So I've seen that before where parents are investing for their kids using their kids' time horizon and making sure everybody's on board, of course. Because Mongoose's mom has a great income,
Hmm.
144 grand before expenses. Who knows what the mortgage is, right? We know
Mortgage
it's it's 2,200 a month, but
2,200 a month. So yeah.
how much does she owe on it? Like maybe she's keeping the cash balance because she owes 200, right? And she wants it to be a wash. Like some more questions, but if there's multiple kids, saying this is going to be invested for us, not mom, how do you wrangle let's say there's 3 kids together on the same page saying we're going to go into long-term equities or a long-term growth portfolio because we're going to inherit this money, and then so they set it up, and then 2 months later or whatever, 6 months later, mom dies and the markets crash, right?
Yeah.
And now that 200 is 150 or worse. And now the kids are like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa," right? So I don't know. I wouldn't tend to go that way, right?
Yeah.
Especially with both beneficiaries.
Yeah.
But I guess all these questions, like I want to know more information.
Yeah.
Right.
One of my favorite comments on this is, she's 80 years old, making $144,000 a year. She should enjoy life to the fullest. Spend some, give some,
100%.
even without a part-time job. Go take a vacation, create memories, spend more money.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe Mongoose's mom is doing that.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know.
We don't know.
I would like to think she's doing it, all that kind of stuff. Sounds like she's got good health benefits. She could travel.
Yeah.
Right?
She's doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Also,
are the
too,
assets of Mongoose? How is that going to flow down to the next generation?
It also feels as if there comes a point where, and I always feel this way when it comes to taxes too. When people are, yes, you want to save as much as you can. You want to
Yep.
be able to you do everything you can to be able to pay as little as you can. I get that. But there also comes a point where you go, is the amount of time and effort to save a little bit or to earn a little bit really worth it? So yes, you can take that $200K and go take the effort to put it into another type of product, or to invest it in this or do that to maybe make a little bit more when mom is
savings.
but mom is doing okay. Is it really worth all that extra effort for mom to make a little bit more extra when mom's doing okay, and when mom's 80 years old and mom's going to still be fine in the end of, doing okay? And probably when mom passes away, it sounds like the kids are still going to have some money to be able to make. And even, at this point, if you put that $200K in, some sort of fund where it might make some money at that point, are the kids really going to make that much on the back end when it comes to, the inheritance at that point where it was really worth the effort,
Yeah, 5%, she's making 10 grand a year, but what is that going to make a big difference out of the 144?
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on her lifestyle, right? But every client, every person has a story when it comes to money, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she's been scratching and saving for 60 years, and has that $200,000 nest egg that she's like, no one's touching this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I earned this. I saved hard and diligently, so I'm not doing anything with it, right?
Yeah.
You never know.
She's had the same bank account number for 50 years and is proud of that. God bless her,
It's got 5 digits.
Yes. And she's been using the same bank registry, since the 1960s, the paper, and it's still written, and it's, yellowed and all, and it's still, okay, good for her. If that works for her, that's
she
her
takes her
thing.
deposit book in. And
Exactly.
They get it stamped, and
that's right. And to some 20-something-year-old teller going, I don't know what this is. What is this? This doesn't fit into the machine. Do you have your ATM card? I don't know what this is.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Older clients love paper. It's good to track.
Yeah.
If you have your system of how to track things and all that. I can imagine at 80, I will be reluctant to adopt the newest technology, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, who cares?
Thanks, Mongoose, for your story. Appreciate it. That was
fun.
That was fun. We will keep an eye on Reddit, but if you see something too that you want to share, you can always shoot us a message. Chris, where can people find you on the internet?
foxfinancial.ca.
And that's where you can always get more information about Chris and all as well. And by the way, that's where you can find more information about the podcast. You can make sure you can hit follow wherever you listen or watch the podcast, on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, so you can get notified when we have new episodes.
That'd be great.
And do all of that. That would be great. Chris, this was fun, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Thanks for checking out the episode. And
thanks, Matt.
We will talk to you soon.
Sounds great. See ya.
Trademarks owned by Investment Planning Council Incorporated and licensed to its subsidiary corporations. Investment Planning Council is a fully integrated wealth management company. Mutual funds available through IPC Investment Corporation and IPC Securities Corporation. Securities available through IPC Securities Corporation, a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Insurance products available through Chris Fox.